Hey, what's up everybody? AJ from the League of Extraordinary Frontmen here. I guess we're going to be doing some vlogging just to give you guys an insight of like who we are as people, you know, not just, you know, from our YouTube channel or our podcast. You know, just an in-depth look about or an in-depth look at who we are, you know, where we all came from, how we came about, you know, meeting each other and everything like that, how the podcast started. Just like a little brief biography on each of us, I guess, and I guess our daily lives. So this vlog is going to be, this episode that you're watching right now is going to be about me, what I've been up to, you know, where I've come from, this, that, and the other, what I've been up to, whatever. Excuse me, I'm just really tired. It's Friday night. I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still going right now. It is just after 7 o'clock. I got home from work around 4:30ish, somewhere around there. Just finished grocery shopping and finishing up some laundry, and I've got to go pick that up along with getting Jeanne a birthday present because her birthday was yesterday and we're celebrating tomorrow. So if you're watching this, say happy birthday to Jeanne. Yeah, and also tomorrow before the festivities start, I'm actually on my way to Massachusetts to hang out with my boys and gals from Vision Within. They asked me to do some guest vocals on one of their latest songs, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's been a very long time, not really that long, but almost 2 years. Almost 2 years since I've actually recorded any sort of music or anything like that. So. And it's been about a year since I've actually been on a stage, so I actually took a hiatus from music for a while. Still kind of am on hiatus, but I've had some personal stuff in my life going on. I have a family member who's ill, you know, so I have that, and you know, I have a full-time job and a career to worry about too. But I promise I will be getting back into music eventually, hopefully something this year, so we'll see. But you know what, my foot's getting back in the door with this song for Vision Within. I'm really looking forward to doing that, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. The song will be called Set in Motion. I'm just gonna, I guess, show you around a little bit. I mean, if you haven't seen some of the videos already from our Facebook live show and tell or whatever, 90% of the time we're usually recording the podcast here in my apartment, so I'll just give you guys a look around. This is actually where we record our podcast. Please don't be too brutal. My apartment is a little messy at the moment, but I'll give you the grand tour. There's a lot of the show and tell items I've had. A lot of action figures and everything like that. You know, family photos, some more figures. My deceased cat, Cuddles, his ashes are right there. If you've been a long-time listener of the podcast, you'd know that Cuddles was the unofficial mascot of the League of Extraordinary Frontmen. He was my cat for 22 years, and he passed away last August. So, my autographed Joker poster from Neil Adams. He was kind of a douchebag. But my Captain America poster that I got from a friend in the music scene. More figures. My Batman the Animated Series collection is growing exponentially, but I've been a little short on cash lately, so haven't been able to get that Batcave yet. But that is actually a drawing of Brandon Lee that I did a very long time ago. If you didn't know, I'm not only just a singer, I'm also an artist. I used to be a tattoo apprentice years ago. I had to give it all up because of my back problems. So yeah, I can even show you some more of my artwork. This is my new cat. This is Tux. Tux is a rescue cat. He is about 3 to 4 years old from what I've been told. He's very playful. He loves to cuddle. He loves attention. And he actually has FIV. If you don't know what FIV is, it is basically feline HIV. This poor little guy was at the shelter for a long time with no one to adopt him or love him, so I fostered him for a while and immediately fell in love with him, and you're totally killing this moment by just licking your ass. This is my kitchen. Again, I apologize for the mess. I haven't been able to organize or clean. But this is my kitchen. That empty beer box is Tux's play toy. He likes to go in there and hide and scratch it up, which makes no fucking sense to me because there's a scratching post right there. I started getting back into art last year. I wish I can actually do more, but here's a picture I drew. It was actually one of my show and tells. My portrait of Charlie Cox's Daredevil from Netflix, and that came out amazing, especially since I'm not really that great at coloring, but that really came out good and I was very happy about that. Here's a portrait of Cuddles that I did after he died, and that's on the Rainbow Bridge, and they say after when animals pass away, the Rainbow Bridge is where they go until you meet them in the afterlife, which I thought was very touching. Some photos, you know, family, friends, people I've opened for in the past. You know, I can go into a little detail of the bands that I was in and shows I've played. I'll do that in a minute. I'm not going to show you my bedroom or my bathroom, but this isn't an episode of Cribs. But getting back to me, if you don't know already from the credits or anything like that, I am actually the former frontman of Connecticut hard rock band In the Red. I was their singer for almost 5 years, I want to say. I joined them in 2011, near the end of 2011, 2012. And, you know, not to give you like a whole history of the band or anything, but I mean, I just, you know, met up with them from an ad online and got the, you know, went to the audition, got the gig, and we did a lot of great big shows. We got to open for a lot of big time bands that I personally look up to, which was really cool, and got to hang out with a lot of these famous people. And, you know, and on top of that, I got introduced to the Connecticut metal scene and music scene, and it's such a community of family and brothers and sisters just coming together, just, you know, like, just coming together for just music and friendship and support and everything. And if you don't know anything about the Connecticut metal scene, definitely look up a lot of bands in the Connecticut metal scene. There's a lot of great talent here. But yeah, I was a singer for In the Red for almost 5 years. I actually have some memorabilia still that I keep. See over here, that was the biggest one. That was when In the Red opened for Grammy Award winner Hailstorm in 2013. That was an unbelievable show. I played in front of a sold-out crowd of 2,000 people, and we went on right before Hailstorm did.
Oh, you guys were awesome tonight. Yeah, keep it going.
Shout out to Hailstorm. You guys were awesome. We also got to open up for CT Native's Fates Warning. If you don't know who Fates Warning are, they are a big band from the 80s. But that was a pretty cool show. And then at the time, Mark was our drummer. You know, we got to hang out with Seven Dust. And then later on, we got to open for them and everything. And towards the end of it, before Kevin, who's this guy right here, the back right there, you know, this was the lineup for In the Red. So, you know, those are good times. So then I left, and I thought I was done with music for a while, and just to, you know, update my resume and stuff, I went back on that website where I originally found my guitarist Pete, and I ended up finding my next band, and I wasn't expecting it to be that fast, but I ended up working with a band called Devil Inside from Naugatuck, Connecticut, and I was with them for about a year. We recorded 3 songs. We were working on an album and everything. We even got on a compilation disc, Headbangers Ball Volume 7, and we are on there with Hatebreed, Josta, Dead by Wednesday, Mark Rizzo. There's us right there, Devil Inside, even though they got the name of the song wrong. But it's all good. I don't care because I can say I'm officially on a CD with Hatebreed. Cool. So yeah, that is a little bit about me and my musical background. I've been singing for my entire life. I was singing at a very young age with my sister. And our father was a singer in our church choir, and my sister and I were both singers in youth choir. So, and I took lessons professionally and everything like that too. It's been kind of hard not being able to sing for a year, so I definitely miss it. So, but yeah, I was with Devil Inside for about a year, and I had to step down, like I said, due to a family member of mine is very ill. So I had to focus my priorities elsewhere, and also had to focus on me. So, and I'm still working on me. So, I mean, at least I have a career. I still have a roof over my head. So that's all that matters for right now. But I'm definitely getting the creative juices flowing again. I've been writing a lot more lately. So there's that. Right now to Massachusetts, heading up to hang out with Dan from Vision Within and do some recording on their tracks Set in Motion, which I'm really excited about. I'm actually really nervous about. It's been a while since I've actually recorded anything. To be perfectly honest, be perfectly honest, I didn't really have a whole lot of time this week to actually practice, but I did go over the song a little bit. I got some ideas for my guest vocals on the track, so yeah, it's gonna be good. I didn't really get a lot of sleep last night either, to be honest with you. I actually have a show booked April 21st, and it's actually a benefit show for melanoma and pulmonary fibrosis research, and the venue I booked at, I originally had the date set for last November, but I had some scheduling conflicts with the musicians involved and everything, so I let the venue know last September that I needed to reschedule and wanted it for April, and the venue said everything was okay. So I got a message from Scott from the league last night saying that another band was booked for the same night at the same venue. So obviously there was some sort of miscommunication, and really kind of irked me because this whole benefit show has been a nightmare from the start, and really kind of getting fed up with everything, to be honest with you. Like, I'm trying to do something good, and it seems like every which way I turn, there's always some sort of obstacle in my way to get this show done, and it just sucks. The show was supposed to be in memory of my godfather, who passed away from melanoma years ago, and it's also benefiting pulmonary fibrosis, which is what's currently killing my father right now. So between the musicians that have come and gone and everything, I understand, but it's just been a total nightmare trying to get this show off the ground. And I appreciate everyone that's stuck around and still involved right now to help get this show going, and especially Vision Within, they're opening the bill, so that's why I've been friends with Vision Within for a long time, but I mean, like, when I jumped at the opportunity when Dan asked me to do guest vocals on one of their tracks, I was like, absolutely. So yeah, so dealing with all that right now, and trying to have a personal life on top of being busy all the time, and on top of everything I'm already doing for the league, between inexperienced 30-year-old gamer, which involves me gaming on Friday nights with all my friends, and then editing those videos. I mean, editing alone could be anywhere between 4 to 6 hours just for one video. It takes a long time to edit, and and then on top of that, I do the nerd news now for our YouTube channel, and that's just a whole other beast right there. Gathering all the information together, editing it, recording it, then editing it. It's a little bit of a process. So basically, my Saturdays are pretty much booked already doing all of that, whether it's editing gaming videos for YouTube or editing nerd news. And right now it's Saturday, January 20th, and I don't have anything recorded for the nerd news yet, so, and I've got tons of footage still from previous weeks of gaming that I still need to get to, but it's just gonna have to wait. I grocery store and had to do my laundry. I didn't get home until about like 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. You know, I mean, of course I went home to drop my groceries off and stuff like that, but I had to immediately run back out. So I didn't get home and relax until like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I had friends asking me, hey, you know, let's go out, let's do this, do that. I couldn't. I'm up at 4 in the morning, and I was going strong since 4 a.m., so it's definitely difficult to keep going sometimes. So anyway, that's a basic gist of, you know, what goes on in my life week after week. I mean, right now at least. I mean, I don't have a band occupying my whatever free time I have right now, but you know, and then Sunday nights is always the podcast, so I don't have a whole lot of free time these days, you know, and when I do, I'm usually just home with my cat. So you know, I'm 30 years old. I'm going to be 31 in a couple weeks. I don't really go out much anymore, so when I do, it's usually a local show, you know, supporting my friends or whatever like that. But I mean, like, I've really calmed down over the years. So I talked about my musical background, where I came from, and everything like that. You know, talked about my daily life. So everybody in the league, I guess for the most part, I know I met Scott at a Webster show when I was still within the Red. I don't know which one, but Scott and I got to be friends after that, and you know, he's been a really good friend to me ever since. And he's always got me on good shows, good bills, and stuff like that. We hung out a few times, and always seemed really cool with each other. So you know, that's how that friendship started. And when I met Kevin, it was also when I was still within the Red. I met all these guys when I was still within the Red. I met Kevin when he was still singing for Demons Past. I believe it was at a show in Naugatuck, Connecticut. I think our other friends from Enemy of Reason was on that same show. And I listened to Demons Past, and I was just like totally blown away. It was like Godsmack meets like Soundgarden or something, because Kevin's got that Chris Cornell style kind of voice, and you know, the music was just so like in your face, and I loved it. So that's how Kevin and I met. You know, I reached out to him and everything and talked to him. So that's how we got to be friends. And Grip, I feel like I met Grip through Knob from Alphanar. I feel like Knobs set me up with Metal Syndicate, and that's how I met Grip, and got affiliated with Agrippa 93 and everything like that. So I think that's how it went down. I could be wrong. My memory's not really that great, but I just know that Grip and I have been friends for a while too in the scene. So that's how we all met for the most part, at least in my memory. We were all friends in the Connecticut metal scene. We all were in bands, and we all liked each other's music. So fast forward, 3 years ago, I think it was, just about the time when I was about ready to leave in the Red, I believe. It was about like April or May, I think. Kevin sent out a mutual email to all of us saying, because we got to talking about like how much geek culture we were into and everything. You know, we were Star Wars fans. I like Star Wars for the most part. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man comics, whatever. You know, we were all fans of pretty much everything. And Kevin reached out to us saying like, hey, you know, it'd be kind of cool if we did a podcast to talk about like, you know, geek culture and pop culture and stuff like that, and like have it be like, you know, with other musicians in the Connecticut metal scene. And Grip is the owner of the Metal Syndicate, the podcast network, which you listen to, the League of Extraordinary from and on. But he also has a few other podcasts, including the Metal Syndicast. And I was on there a few times, and that's when him and Alan talked to a bunch of musicians from the Connecticut metal scene, where they promote their bands and this, that, and the other. They play their music, etc. So Grip was already doing podcasts for a while. And when Kevin reached out to us saying, hey, let's do this podcast, Agrippa immediately jumped on board, was all for it. You know, talk about Star Wars, G.I. Joes, whatever, you know. And I was on board because I fucking love comics and animation and whatever. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And of course, Scott jumped on board too. So that's how the League of Extraordinary From It started. We did our first podcast at Cherry Street Station in Connecticut, Wallingford, Connecticut, and it was basically just kind of like an intro, like, you know, us as people and like what we're into and blah 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 blah. So, and it just kind of grew from there. You know, Jeanne came on, Scott's wife, and she immediately became a part of the podcast. She would just come and hang out for the first, you know, couple weeks, and then she just kind of like grew into a co-host of the show, and she always has those one-liners too that, you know, that come at the most appropriate times in our discussions that just make her like such a vital part of our podcast. She's definitely brings the humor to it, and she's definitely helped out a lot too, helped me out with the nerd news a few times and stuff, and you know, I'm really glad she came on board. And Michelle, who's Kevin's wife, she came on after a while too. She was the one that actually named the podcast. So shout out to Michelle for naming the podcast. And then she came on board after a while, and it just kind of grew into what you guys hear today. So, you know, and Michelle brings the Who News whenever she has it. So, but yeah, that's kind of how the podcast started. So we've had plenty of guests on in the past. We're coming on 100 episodes already. I can't believe it's been almost 3 years now, and we're only hitting 100 episodes now. So, you know, but it is what it is. Most of the time we were either busy or had shows and stuff like that, so, you know, we couldn't always record every Sunday. So, yeah, that's how that went. Got an hour and 40 minutes before I get there because apparently there's a car accident on the way up there, so I'm all by myself. All these people I'm passing by must think I'm crazy. I got a camera pointed at me and I'm talking to myself. So I'm here at Castle View with Dan from Vision Within. Getting ready to record some tracks, or a track I should say. A little nervous, it's been a while since I've been in recording mode. I don't know how well my voice is. You're all gonna judge me. It's alright, this is going to Chris, so I'm sure he'll make me sound as decent as possible because he knows how I sound, but Chris is usually pretty nice about my vocals. I can just hear him now. Yeah, you could do it better, AJ.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One by one, as the press stop pleased, marched along with the simplest of ease. Set in motion is the start of the end. Dance to the flames as we all fall in. We can kiss, we are. We can kiss.
Prepare your underground bunkers.
That was a good take.
Yeah, I like that one. We can kiss, we are. Oh. Were we doing it again?
Huh?
Were we doing it again?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Nice.
Warning first, you might consider some images in this following report graphic.
Crowds took to the streets of California to express their anger at the election.
Media reports severe weather and tonight there is more on the way.
People marched through the streets of
Awesome. Awesome.
Woo! One take, that's all it fucking needed.
Yeah. I may add a scream or two here and there, but I think what you did is fucking gorgeous.
Sweet.
Alright, so let's hear it.
Not bad for someone who hasn't recorded in over a year. Alright, so I got finished doing vocal work on Vision Within song Set in Motion. Thanks for Dan for having me come over. I'm heading back home now. It's going to be about an hour and a half before I get home because of traffic on 91. Apparently they had construction and shut down most of the highways, so this is going to be a fun ride home. And yeah, I'm going to get ready for Jeannie's birthday party for later tonight, but I can't wait for this track to get finished. It's going to sound fucking tight, so make sure to check out Vision Within on Facebook and Reverb Nation. They have an album coming out hopefully in the spring, which I'm on. So thanks again guys for having me.